said that we should try our best as possible to have a backup plan. And during the presentation, I would like you not just rely on your own plan. Look at other people's plan. Modify it to that in such a way that it can actually work for you. And the next one, believe. Believe in yourself. You can do it. As I said, somebody like me, I can't believe that I'll be talking like this today. So I believe in myself, and it is actually working right. So you can do it. So far that some group of people can actually make it happen, likewise you can also achieve it. So you can all do it, you can all achieve it. You need to believe in yourself. And the last one, which is the C, care. I like that word, care. Care is the only slogan that school owners, private school owners, will use to get the attention of every student out there. So if you come down as somebody who wants to come and enroll your child, and I need to work with care for children, we do this, and it's not all about the curriculum. It's not all about how you can teach. How do you care for them? How do you love them? So when you use the word care, and you have it in your mind, and if it is even possible, you can write it in a very bold place in your office. I care for all. You can look for a quote to write there. I will care. The way I care for my family is the way I will care for this student. Just do something in such a way that it will really to remind you that care will be your what? To be your goal. And then if you care for them, you will tell them to wear their nose mask. If you care for them, you tell them to wash their hands. If you care for them, you will tell them, don't hug each other. Don't shake each other. Do as much as possible to follow my God. And if you care for them, you won't leave the monitoring of this guideline to just the teachers alone. You will also try as much as possible during the break, you visit the classes. Before closing hour, you visit the classes. In the morning, you also visit the classes. Remember, you are not stressing yourself. It's exercise. Make sure that your office is around somewhere that take your time and you go and visit them. And as much as possible, get to school before them so that everything is set. Make sure that water is available, cleaners are actually done their job by tidying up everywhere. And the last one, communication. As I said, teamwork works. Teamwork will make this come into reality. If you have a good communication skill by communicating to everybody that, hello teachers, let's try as much as possible. When you go to this place, try to talk to the students. And then maybe teacher 1, you are going to monitor the student 1 o'clock. Teacher 2, by 10 o'clock, I would like you to leave your office. You don't have time to that time. Walk around. Teacher 3, by the time it's get to this time, walk around. As much as possible, let's make sure communication is key. I'm very sure I have a WhatsApp group. You can create a WhatsApp group to be deliberating as much as possible. It is all inside. It's like actually one of the tools that actually works best for now. For us to be able to communicate with our colleagues, junior colleagues, and any other people in the school environment. The ABC of COVID-19 school leadership, COVID-19 for school leadership is actually the best. The first one I said is accept. The second one I said is adapt. The third one I said is adopt. So under the A, we have what? Accept, adapt, and adopt. The next one I said, build, back up, and believe. And the last one I said, care and communication. So from these, we have to discuss a lot, and everything was all about safety. Safety. And there's something I have to discuss also, hygiene. I said our hygiene matters a lot. That means that we have to make sure that we wash our hands. Tell the children that when they get home, if mommy did not watch the tomato before using it, just tell them that they should be conscious that anything around them should be washed before eating. Wash your food, wash your plate, keep your environment clean. So hygiene can be something that students will understand right now. And there's something I haven't brought in, that COVID-19 can also be used as another form of extracurricular activity. Simply means that we should bring in extracurricular activities to deliberate about COVID-19, the cure, competition, essay writing, different kind of things. We can use this to engage them. This is a very big idea that will make those things to stick in them that this disease is real, but we are not treating it as just a scary disease. We are also learning from it. Biology students can learn something from it. Science students can bring in some ability out of it. Definitely, 100% sure we can achieve this through extracurricular activity. And note that communication with parents is very, very important. And note our classroom management. Our classroom management, when school resume, we should be thinking more of creativity. And then we should be thinking more of serving as a role model in the classroom. The era of the way we teach before has changed. We should be thinking of teaching in another form. Teaching in another form can come in form of adding creativity into the way you teach. And I talk about hands-on activity. Don't just teach in theory alone, because there will be time for some of those things that we talk about, that we didn't talk about in the previous day. Make sure there's practicality. See, learning is what matters for now. Deep matters for now. And I'm very honest with you, technology will be brought into the school system in such a way that students can respond to some of our questions online, and that will make our school to flip. So we have actually chapter 1 and chapter 2 regards to introduction. So I think what an assignment. The assignment was that we should write down a guideline that we think can work for us when school is home. A guideline that we think that it can work for the best for us when school is home. I'm going to start with group 1. Group 1, and one is getting ready. Group get set. Group 3, I want to get set. Group 4, I want to get set. Group 5, I want to get set. Group 6, I want to get set. Group 7, I want to get set. 8, I want to get set. And 9, I want to get set. So, if the group is ready like this way,
this is one, ready to present our own paper. So we are from the press.
Okay, hello. Let's wait and let them present them so that we can learn from them. Remember, we are learning from them also. We have your own with you, but they want to. It is a very big opportunity because we are going to learn from them what they are actually working on. So let's take our time to hear them. Please, let's do that.
So one thing we have realized is we have different challenges in our school because we are not from the same school. For example, in my own school, what I have is different from what other people have in their own school. But we are trying to just bring about something that can be of usefulness to everybody. So this is a little write-up that we have because we said COVID-19 has brought a lot of havoc on the whole world. Since there has been no care for it inside, the world cannot just remain stagnant. Future leaders must be raised for sustainability. Hence, they need to have adequate plans that will be effective and well implemented. So there are little things that can be put in place to ensure, they may be little but very, very important, to ensure that the post-COVID-19 activities or post-COVID-19 school activities is not debarred. Since RESUMPTION says, leave no child behind. To ensure that no child is left behind, these are the steps that we decided that can be taken to ensure a successful post-COVID-19 school activity. 1. Effective fumigation and sanitization of the school compound, both inside the school and outside the school environment. Now, before resumption, though this may be difficult, but it is not difficult since they will not be many, we can invite the FBMC before we resume school, that now the pupils are about to resume. What do we do? They should be of help, because fumigation, sanitization of the school is not a thing that can easily be done by the school manager, because it involves financial implications. So these are the areas where we need to seek for their help. We need to seek for their assistance. After which, during the after resumption, in a school where pupils are many, we cannot have a parent forum meeting at a time, because COVID-19 has taught us that we should not just gather in a place. So this meeting will be held in batches. If you invite primary 1 pupils parents today, that's in a situation where your pupils are many. Like in my school, I have almost 2,000 children in my school. So bringing all the parents together will be difficult. That is why they have to be invited in batches. So by the time you invite primary 1 today, discuss with them. Because there should be a complementary effort between the school and the home. You know, pupils should be in the school for little hours, but they are spending most hours with the parents. That is why whatever we teach them in the school, there should be a kind of continuity at home when they get home. So we need to let the parents see, let them realize the need to ensure that what we are teaching them in school is not just ending in the school. Because when you give that good habit to the children in the school and they get home and resort to another thing, in fact it will be as if time has been wasted. So the parents will be carried along to ensure that the whole thing is okay. Now, in schools, talking about the school manager now, there should be COVID-19 monitoring team. There should be a team that will monitor that. The head teacher or the school manager or the principal should see himself as the incident commander. Just as the Lagos State Governor has taken himself to be the incident commander, the school manager is also supposed to be the incident commander. So the frontliners should be the teachers and the HODs. Not ordinary HODs alone, but the pupils, like the class captain, should be carried along because they are with themselves. By the time they are on break, they know what is happening to each other. They are the ones that will come to tell you, so they will be as a kind of SSS to monitor themselves in the school. By so doing, at least if anything happens in the school, we will know. So also, there will be an anthem. Anthem should be composed. Let there be songs, because children are interested in music. So by the time we teach them a very simple song that they can easily learn, so that at times, even when they are at home, they can sing it. That will be reminding them that, okay, these are the things they need to do. So also as school managers, we should ensure that we have buckets that have staff. Staff should be there so that it will be strategically positioned in the school. Not one, not two, depending on the population of the school. Like in my school, I've got about 9. Just to ensure that it is strategically positioned everywhere. Wherever they go, they should be able to watch their hands. Now, we have said they should not be using the same cups to drink water. Some children are funny. They will tell you, Jacob, but they go to the tap and put their mouth. It can happen. So it will be good if there can be a kind of protection to ensure that they don't just go there to play with water. Since touching surfaces is also another way of spreading the COVID-19 we are talking about, then let it be known that the slogan of no mask, no entry should be a compulsory thing that every one of them should be able to do. Then we are going to seek assistance from the government and from philanthropists in the society that we need infrared thermometers. Because buying infrared thermometer is not a small thing. Now that we are going back to school, all places are bushy. All places in the school are bushy. So if the government can help, I'm sure our children are hearing what I'm saying. And so please help us appeal to SUBEB that they should provide us with infrared thermometers. Now that schools are going to resume buckets up, the price of buckets are rising up. So to ensure that we tackle what we are talking about effectively, we need that. Then there should be provision of flex with different prescriptions. So that by the time we put them there and there, wherever the pupils go, they will be able to see what we are talking about. So there will be something like do not hurt, do not shake hands, things like that. So if we are able to do this, the spread of COVID-19 will be eradicated.
Can we give them
Unfortunately, there's no time for us to sing.
Okay, just give us that song, please, please. Give us the song. Can you please roll it for them?
The song says, it's just a 4-line song. It says to prevent coronavirus, social distancing is compulsory to stay alive, to live longer. Don't forget your nose mask.
Let's sing it again. To prevent coronavirus, social distancing is compulsory. To stay alive, to live longer. Don't forget your nose mask. Once again. To prevent coronavirus, social distancing is compulsory. To stay alive, to live longer. Don't forget your nose mask. Once again, I think you now understand the first 1, 2, ready, go. To prevent social distancing is compulsory. To stay alive, to live longer. Don't forget your nose mask. Don't forget your nose mask. Come on, let's do it again. To prevent coronavirus, social distancing is compulsory. To stay alive, to live longer. Don't forget your nose mask. Go to your video recording and record this. Or if you have audio recording or video recording, you need to record that tone. Writing it down does not mean you remember that tone. No music is funny. So the tone matters. So once again, take your video if you are ready. Just tell me, let me count 1 to 10 so that I know you are ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. Let's sing. Social distancing is compulsory. To stay alive, to live longer. Don't forget your nose mask. Once again. To prevent coronavirus, social distancing is compulsory. To stay alive, to live longer. Don't forget your nose mask. A round of applause for group.
There are no laws, and there are definitely no symptoms. So there should be ground rules. And some of the ground rules are always put nose mask. Wherever you are, whether in the compound, there must be nose mask. Also, no sharing and borrowing. You are not allowed to share any of your things. You are not allowed to borrow. Then also, you must always wash your hands. Whenever you want to come into the school, you must wash your hands. Even at the gates, my governor has said that hand sanitizers, buckets with water, tissue papers, liquid soap for washing of hands must be kept at strategic places. It must also be at the entrance of the gate, so that whoever is coming into the school would wash or sanitize the So we must always wash our hands and sanitize. Then no handshake, no hugging of any form. Then also, pupils will be sensitized to always report any sick person or any sick pupil, because sometimes before a teacher discovers that a pupil is sick or a student is sick, the classmates would have discovered, this my friend is the head of the desk. So we should encourage them to always report any sick person. Then everybody must be law abiding. All the students, the teachers, the school managers, everybody in the school, including the gatekeepers, they must be law abiding. Those are some of the rules. Then also, I feel it might be difficult to stop these food vendors, because we know we are dealing with students in private schools. Sometimes these parents do not have time to cook for their children. So we might have food vendors in the school. We need to expect
Water vendors.
Okay, if you can tell water vendors.
That's government.
Okay.
Those vendors, no water vendors.
Then the gatekeepers, they need to be sensitized. They need to be encouraged.
Yeah. More important, emphasis. We are going to lay emphasis on social distancing. Let the pupils understand the meaning of social distancing. That it does not that they cannot play with each other, but there was what we are supposed to not be physical and body contact.
And also no stigmatization. Stigmatization. They will not want to support another.
There's something I want to point out from their point. There's something I want to point out from what they said. They said there should be ground rules. You know, we did not talk about ground rules. They said that there should be ground rules. Please note that. Ground rules is just like laws. And those laws should be visual. I want to bring that into our notice. So that means that there should be a place that the law is written.
So I want to welcome everyone back to the class, and
So
the first thing I'm going to be working on
so that those grounds should be placed in strategic places so that the student can be seeing them again and again. Thank you very much.
We have a song.
Okay, that's a song. Okay.
is creating a learner's choice and a learner's voice learning environment. And before our break, I actually said some things. I said we should try as much as possible to provide a kind of a learning environment that the voice of the learners what count. Why do we need to do that? We need to do that because we are now in a very different learning environment. So I'm going to be reading from my guideline some things I would like you to try as much as possible to adopt. And I know that some of those things, we all know them. So the first one is for us to promote an accessible resources for learners. Accessible resources. Some of those resources can be in form of displays in the classroom, like the primary school teachers and the head of school. We have what is called display. What's display? Display is it's an instructional tools that is used to display instructional content in the classroom. So if I'm teaching right now, I am to display something that is actually talking about what I'm teaching presently right now. And I said I'm going to bring something for us today. And the funniest part of it is I have it in my car, but I don't know how to give it out. I only have 15, so I don't know how to give that 15 out. So I'm still looking for a strategy to give that 15 out. Before the end of the class, I would have gotten some best, one best from each table, or I'll give you one pack, you pieces the pack. So everybody will have equal opportunity, access to it. Promote access to a well-maintained facilities. Yes. There will have been some things in the school that the students will need to understand that these things are newly done, and they will need to do their best as possible to make sure that they don't actually destroy those things. And mommy actually said something, and I like that. The idea is that we have some whistleblowers, and the whistleblower, no, she's reinforcing some set of whistleblowers that if you report anybody who actually destroyed the government's property, that person is going to have so amount. So there is no hiding place. If you report, there's somebody that is actually ready to actually, if you spoil anything that belongs to government, there is somebody that is actually watching you, and the person is ready to report. But I know they are smart to those statements. What if they bribe each other? We should be thinking about that. Open the classroom to the new method that can accommodate creativity, disparity. I want to use creativity. Open a classroom that can accommodate creativity in the classroom. That means, I talked about some things whereby it is not all about just teaching, writing of notes. When I was in secondary school then, we write part 1 of the notes, we clean. Part 2 of the notes, we clean. Part 3 of the notes, we clean. In case you don't know, some of those students are tired of those things. And I'd like to show you the future. The future of learning will not be writing of notes anymore. It is a future of understanding the content, not ability to have the knowledge of the content alone. Not to just know the content, but understanding the content deeply. Deep learning. So why bringing learners to have a better learning experience? The benefit may actually include the following. Using academic theory to deal with the effect of pandemic, okay? That simply means that this time, some of these theories, sometimes, we talk about integrating your subject matter to the current situation of the country right now. So anything you teach in the classroom, make sure you reinforce in the classroom, COVID-19 actually has done this to us, so how do we solve this? We have to wear our nose mask. So anything you actually teach, if it is math in the classroom also, there should be a way of imbibing 1 or 2 things that talks about what? Our hygiene, our health, our safety, social distancing, and more. Develop self-awareness. By the time we do some of this, it will develop a very big time self-awareness to the student, and they will be aware of so many things that is going on in the classroom. Discover a better way to enjoy learning. Yes, when you make learning fun, they will discover a better way to learn. Note something, I mentioned something yesterday, that you don't teach children, you teach a child. That theory simply means that we are addressing different multiple intelligences in the classroom. So, develop practical skills. Give projects this time. Practical projects. An example of projects you can give. Different types of projects. Like now, if I am the art teacher in the school, there should be practical projects. If I'm the science teacher in the school, there should be practical projects. So those practical projects will create an effective teaching and learning process. And another thing is for us to develop transition between home and school. Transition between home and school. And the next one I want to discuss is a very lovely topic I like to talk about, which is the flipped classroom. The flipped classroom. The flipped classroom for great learning experience. What exactly is flipped classroom? It is also called blended learning. It can also call the hybrid learning. So flipped classroom actually talks about a situation where a child continue his learning in another form. You know the meaning of flip? When a table is normal before, but we now flip the table upside down. That simply means that learning can continue at home in another form. We have been practicing flipped classroom before. We practice flipped classroom by giving homework in their with the use of writing. So by the time they go to their homes, they write homework and they submit back in the classroom. Flipped classroom talks about creating a classroom, creating a paperless classroom. What is a paperless classroom? Creating a digital classroom where children can explore with digital tools. In case you don't know, some of them have phone. In primary school, they think that they don't have phone, but they have access to a particular phone that they press almost every time at home. So let's try as much as possible to give them assignment that will enable them to understand the what? The digital world. Assignment like go online and check so, and then come back to us and what? And bring in some of those things that you have learned from there and come and discuss them in the classroom. The only part of it that may actually be distracting is the use of social media. But not. Social media, in some places, people are actually using social media to make money. I actually mentioned myself yesterday, and in case you don't know, social media is another place to do a lot of marketing too. So don't talk about social media as a bad place in the classroom. And if in case you don't want to talk about it, don't talk about it at all. So look for a way to make sure that they understand that social media, apart from some of those things they see online, the lives of the hush puppies and more, some of those things they see online that they use social media to do, that in the classroom also, social media, internet can aid learning. As I said, you can have your PhD just with the use of your words, your internet, but you may not have the certificate, but you can get all the knowledge needed for you to acquire that same knowledge that person has. So, what is a flipped classroom? A flipped classroom is an instructional strategy and a type of blended learning focused on learners' engagement and active learning, giving the instructor a better opportunity to deal with mixed level, student difficulties, and differentiated learning performance during the classroom. So, flipped classroom can be achieved without internet, and it can also be achieved without internet. Yes, but sometimes in some context, it is divided into a paperless classroom and a classroom with paper. And you know, sometimes we work with paper in the classroom, and in another way also, in form of online learning, we work with what again? Digital content. So, but in the context of if some of those tools are not available, what we can do is to make sure that we give them some assignment that will just enable them to just go on just ordinary google.com or to watch a video on YouTube or to do one or two things, and they respond back in the classroom in such a way that they can present some of those things that they have actually learned so far online. Some of these things actually brings in a lot of deep learning. There's no how they can do it. Internet is a place that it is accessible to all, and they will still come across it in the nearest future to do a lot of research on it. Even if you are a welder that weld gates, you need internet skills to be able to check what your mates are doing outside of the world. And that is what separates somebody which is not digitally literate to somebody who is what? Digitally what? Literate. So we need to understand that digital literacy is one thing that they should understand. Don't let us hide it from them. And in case we are not actually good in using internet also, please note, you can start from your phone. Your phone is a starting point. Just by WhatsApp, creating a group for your teachers in your school is a form of digital. You are learning some digital work, digital tools. And then I'm very sure that you will also do that. So let's talk about some areas of digital tools. Flipped classroom. Flipped classroom gives flexibility in the classroom. You know, school we close 2 o'clock. I don't know whether it is going to be 3:30. I think we closed 3:30 before. But it may turn to 2 o'clock, or they may use the word 12 o'clock. So how do we continue learning in such a way that when school close, we are continuing learning in another form? So this flipped classroom gives a lot of ability for children to be flexible. So flexibility simply means that we talk about skeleton in the classroom and you label skeleton. You can tell them, go on YouTube and watch a 3D video. You may have actually watched the video before. You can tell them the name of the exact video to go and watch, or any of those things. So you can involve them in a personal learning where they learn on their own in the classroom. Note, don't let us assume that, no. We should actually think of how we can motivate them to watch those videos. And at the end of the day, to go to those places to search some things to learn more. And at the end of the day, those things will help them. We help them. Learning experience. They will experience learning outside of just you alone. Please note, you are not the author and the finisher of all the knowledge on planet Earth. Don't think that you are the only person that will be teaching in the classroom. Hey, this and that. Give them opportunity to learn from another person. Give them opportunity to you can even bring in. There was even a time a public school teacher actually brought in a laptop and with a small speaker, and then she invited somebody else from another school online, and the person was actually talking to the students in the classroom, this and that from another country, and it was awesome. I think around Songota. Yeah. So this is actually something that can actually make us as teachers to become a global brand. Do you know we are all a brand as teachers? Yes, we are a brand, and this can come out when we understand different methods of teaching, and blended learning has actually come to stay. And another thing is professionalism. Professionalism, as a professional, we must be used to different types of things, different methods of teaching, and different ideas to create lovely learning experience. So as a teacher, we will be trying new method to make learning process an integrated one, and this can actually be a very big, powerful tool. So as a professional, let's try our best. There are different new methods of teaching that are actually coming in every day. Go online, go and check what is flipped learning, what is flipped classroom, what is flipped school, what is blended learning, what is hybrid learning. Those terms will help you, so that by the time you talk in the classroom, the children will see you as, yes, you understand what you are saying. You know, as I said, some of them actually know a lot. Some of them don't learn from you alone in the classroom. Some of them learn from their peer group who is actually attending private school. And even some of them, they are as wise as anything. Their IQ is highly sound. So for you to become a professional at the front of them, you need to be ahead of them. Being ahead of them make you a quality teacher and actually make you a 21st century teacher. So at this point, I will talk about extracurricular activity integration. Extracurricular activity integration. I've actually talked about that yesterday, that we need to bring in different types of extracurricular activity. I talk about bringing essay writing right now. That when they resume school, the first thing is for us to bring in that, how do we even count that? Your experience during the COVID-19 lockdown. During the COVID-19 holiday, we can call it holiday, we can call it lockdown and more. So these children will give you their own experience. This and that. I traveled. I was staying at home. I did not eat one time. We went to party. I visit different, different, and those ones that we may not be able to talk about. And adaptation. Please note, some of those things that we have been talking about, they have come to stay. Be ready to adapt to those guidelines. Be ready to adapt to those new system of teaching, and the Lord will help us. So teachers can also introduce the following: individualized learning. Individualized learning, that is personal learning. That is giving them personal assignment. We can also give them collaborative assignment, but sometimes we may not be able to pair in boys and girls to talk about what's it called? Collaborative learning outside of the school. But boys and girls can be joined together in the school, maybe for a project in the school. You know, sometimes we give them some projects whereby they will go and do at home and they have to collaborate. Yes, but I would advise not to do boys and girls to go and collaborate outside, so that you won't be in different kind of schools. Yes, so I would advise you to just bring in one gender to another, and try as best as possible to monitor as much as you can. But if it is in a classroom, you can group them, group 1, group 2, group 3. And if it is even possible, when school resumes, adapt this new method. They should be grouped immediately. So you are group 1 in the same class, you are group 2. You are maybe 2020, maybe 10-10. Group 1, group 2, group 3. We are doing that before. That's fine, lovely. So if you are giving them some work to do, it is from that group. You can even mix the group. Maybe you observe, there's one more around you. Let me change them together, so that this IQ set of group can go and teach the other group that are lesser in terms of IQ. So brainstorming for children to meet as a group, that is what I just talked about now. Give them group for them to brainstorm to eat with each other. And by the end of the day, you can give them some thematic topics to talk about. Maybe you want them to talk about COVID-19 and the solution expectation from the governor. You can give them some topic that what kind of solution were you expecting from governor? Why do you think, serious topic. Just you can gather that for yourself, and then from there you can get something to even present to the state governor, to your directors and more. The last one, creativity is another way that can use creativity is another way teachers can employ to integrate into learning. So I like us to try as much as possible. Creativity is number one skill. Not 100% of these children will be lawyer, will be doctor. Some of them will be in the creativity industry. And the funniest part of it is that the creativity industry is not even doing far well. I have guys that they are now in the creativity industry, just doing skits. You know, some of these skits they stand on YouTube. The lives of Brother Shaggy, the lives of MC Mike, the lives of You Are Doing Well. Some of those people, they're actually doing very well. So you can encourage them. Some of those creativity that they have, they can be good in writing. Some children are very good in writing books, but they are not writing right now. So why don't you just encourage them? Bring in a lot of activity that can use to encourage them and encouraging others through them. So those are some creativity idea. And not something. Don't reward just one person in the classroom. It kills. I remember a story last 2 years or last year where a young girl has been scoring the highest mark in the classroom. The girl scores first position JSS1, first position JSS2. And at the end of the day, some group of beefing girls brought in acid to school to pour inside the water bottle. Thank God that one of them repented. Immediately. She went to go and pour that thing away. And another one happened at Abuja and the guy died immediately. A university guy. They went to the swimming pool. When they got to the swimming pool, the guy took them there, bought them shawarma, bought them everything. At the end of the day, they drowned the guy in the swimming pool. So there are some things that we do that create envy in them. So we need to make sure that collaboration is one kind of a thing that can. It is not all about you are the first. No. Let's make sure that everybody is together, carried along. So that, because sometimes the people you call Omoburuku can end up being Omogidi. An example is me. My school uniform alone, you will know that it's a law. This one has gone. Our school uniform was pink and white, line pink and white. I used red to write my own name at the back of my collar all day, and I was proud about it. But I did not know that I was a very big fool. That was then. I did not know. But now, I know that I was a fool. My name is now Iben now, not Ode again. But so, imagine that time. The people that I was even looking up to that were in Kiruka. There's a girl called in Kiruka that time. The girl, Yoruba language. This girl is called A in Yoruba language. A in Kiruka. I'm Igbo, most of you. In Kiruka, scoring A in Yoruba language. When I finished my NC, I'm going to see 3 years. When I finished my university, another 3 years. Making how many years? 6 years. In Kiruka, never entered school. So when I was like, what exactly happened? So the first shall be the last. These are the people that we are looking up to. Although there are some set of people that are really okay for life, they will do very well. But not all of them that we are like that we are giving some kind of they are the major champion in the classroom. Not all of them may actually give you some kind of results you want. So everybody in the classroom should be what? Should be equal, like all of them. Those ones are not even doing well. You can even match them together. You can give them word of advice. Tell your friend. Make sure you have friends with this set of people. You don't sit down at the back again. Come and sit down at the front by force. So mix them with each other, and at the end of the day, by the time they see you, that you are walking on the streets of Lagos, and then they are now doing well, they will say, "Mommy, this and that." So try our best as possible to work with the students.
Yes. Very well. Yes. So it's not a round of applause. So, okay. So I just wanted to say one or two words just to emphasize
The last part of our session before we end the training is the topic psychological support and professional input for optimal performance. And I know this topic is self-explanatory, but I'm going to take us through this in a very fast way. Value of psychological recreation activity. What are those values that we are going to gain when we bring in recreational activity, especially through psychology? So psychological support, a 5-minute review of what we have learned so far. 5 minutes. So we learn about being safety conscious, and then we can be packing our bag as I'm talking. Being safety conscious, noting that there is nose masks, putting on nose masks by students when coming to school, having having our committees that will be guided together for us to be able to pledge that we are going to read this book, number 1. We are going to practice what is inside this book, number 2. The one that is practicable. Thank you, mommy. And then I will tell you, there's no one that is not practicable. That's true. I've what, sir? I've given you alternative. Yes, thank you very much. Remember that alternative very well. I will not say it out again. So, I would like us to pledge that we are going to comply with this particular guideline when school resumes. Not something. If anything happens in your school, it's going to affect everybody. If anything happens in your school, it's going to affect everybody. That simply means that I would like you to pledge to promote health consciousness, safety and social distancing in my school, to promote and preserve the students, educators, everyone, and myself. Myself, one school resume. So help me God. So let's read it together. 1, 2, ready, go. I pledge to promote health consciousness, safety and social distancing in my school, to protect and preserve the students, educators, everyone, and myself. One school resumes. So help me God. So we want to read it again, and I will read it with us. So we all pledge to do this once more. We pledge once again. I pledge to promote health consciousness, safety and social distancing in my school, to protect and preserve the students, educators, and everyone, and myself. One school resume. So help me God. Let's remember that song once again. The music or song, let me call it, that we are going to use to make sure that these actually stay in them. And I would like you, if possible, you can remove this. You can tear this out and what? Give it a frame and put it in your classroom in such a way that you can remember every time that, not apart from that statement pledge, but you will have it in mind that you want to do your best to protect these students. So let's remember that song, sir, so that we sing this and then we remember. There are 2 that I actually like, and I will that second I will still sing that second. So let's start from you, sir. Remind us that tone. I can't remember that tone again.
To prevent
coronavirus. Let's sing it twice. To prevent coronavirus. Social distancing, compulsory. Social distancing is compulsory. Coronavirus. To prevent coronavirus. Social distancing is compulsory. to stay alive, to live longer. Do forget your nose. We remember, let's do it again. To prevent coronavirus. To prevent coronavirus. Social distancing is compulsory. To stay alive, to live longer. Don't forget. What happened to this? Can somebody play that part? Play from your music, please. You know you've recorded it before. There's a way we actually the tone. Can somebody play the video? You have recorded it before. I'm not sure. Let me confirm. Your nose marks, there is a tone. That tone, we need to get that tone. Okay, we are waiting for that, for the... Okay. Don't forget. Don't forget your nose mask. Okay, let's sing once again. 1, 2, ready, go. To prevent coronavirus. And again, to prevent coronavirus. Social distancing is compulsory. To stay alive, live longer. Don't forget your nose masks. Again, to prevent coronavirus. To prevent coronavirus. Social distancing is compulsory. To stay alive, to live longer. Don't forget your nose mask. 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 You want to say something, sir?
Yes, I think there's a little bit contradiction.
Okay.
Is it nose mask or face mask? Yes.
Okay, let's respond to that answer. No, that's another one. This one is not face shield. Don't forget.
They are saying everything face mask.
Answer. I think it should be nose mask.
Okay.
Because we are covering our nose.
Our nose, not face.
Not face.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Daddy.
Initially, when it started, we were concerned about our nose and the mouth.
Yeah.
But later,
When it was time to research on speeds. Yeah.
we thought of what would make it a kind of stylish something. That was when we started this issue of
Face shield. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. You can compose two.
face shield and nose mask, because this is not covering the whole of our face. This is our face.
But when we consider the function of what we are wearing,
Yeah.
it is concerned with the nose.
Okay. The second one. There is this one that this second song you gave from another group. Yes. Is it from your group? You like the song also. Can you from this group? Please remind us. Wear your face mask. Wear Sanitize your hand.
He has changed it.
Okay, get your
mask.
sanitize your hand. Wear your face mask. Okay, get your. You can change it. I think it's not bad. There won't be what that's true. Okay, that's true. So let's go with wash your hand, sanitize your hand, wear your face mask and stay safe. Wash your hand, sanitize your hand, wear your face mask and stay safe. Again together. Yes.
Sanitize your hand. Wear your face mask.
And stay safe. Again. Yes.
Sanitize your hand. Wear your face mask. Wear your mask and stay safe.
Again. Stay safe. Okay, again. Well, wash your hands. Sanitize your. Yeah. Yes, we are getting it up.
Very participative. The facilitators carried everybody around. He has the
So you can continue.
he has the facilitating skills. Like the way he communicates, the way he relates with us, he did not see himself above others. And he seeks the opinion by distributing his question, which is one of the skills in facilitating questioning method and evaluating method, because he has already evaluated everything he has done. So I give it to you. Thumb up, sir.
Thank you very much, ma. Yes, ma. Anybody else? Yes, ma. Thank you, ma.
Really appreciate you. What I can say about this class that you take us as a low low class peoples.
Yeah.
And you are using playing method. You let her have interest, because I observe that nobody does in this class. We already have interest in your teaching. We love it, and you know that I will give you kudos, because since I tried that, I'm not tired. Everyone's not tired. You asked us to go out. No, I think only a few people move out. We are waiting for you here. No, you are a real teacher, not a lecturer.
Thank you very much, ma. Thank you very much. One more person, then we remember my assignment, please. One more person. Anybody else from this part? Anybody else? Yes, ma.
The two other people have said problems, but the main thing I just want to say that the way you explained it to us was really, the content was quite, you were applying it to realities, and I think that's the most important with this topic we are handling. So we were relating the content with what we were going to face on ground. So that's the part I really enjoyed in it, because it's one thing to be theoretical, and then another thing is to practicalize it. And you were able to really tell us that there were some of it that was going to be difficult, but we still have to have a way to go about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma. Good job. Thank you. Thank you very much, ma. We see tomorrow, same time in the morning, 9:30 we are going to start. Remember the assignment? The assignment is the same venue. The assignment is going to be, what's the assignment again? Draw a plan for your school when school resumes. And there's something I want us not to forget, but I said we have the 3 teachers. The first teachers are the what? The adults. The second teachers are the what? The peer group. The last teacher and the environment. Please take care of that environment.
create a safe environment, and we have our slogan in the class. Our slogan is what? And again? Stay apart. No, she wants to say it. There is something omitted.
Staying apart is the best way of staying together in order to live.
Okay, no. Thank you very much, mommy and daddy.